one form of tribute for Richard Brodeur and the Cup finalist Canucks. Right now, Brodeur. One form of tribute for Richard Brodeur and the Cup finalist Canucks. Right now, Brodeur is the busiest and likely the best goaltender in the NHL. Thursday night in Montreal, an eagerly awaited game turned into a rout as the Canadiens defeated the Minnesota North Stars 8-3. Pierre Mondeau scoring the game's outstanding goal on this play. Tonight, the Vancouver Canucks meet the Canadiens on Hockey Night in Canada.
Live on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, brought to you by Molson, bringing you the finest in hockey broadcasting for 25 years. Canadian Tire. There's more to Canadian Tire than tires. Canadian General Electric. We bring good things to life. Esso, responding to your needs makes us better. You make us better. And by Ford of Canada. At Ford, quality is job one, right down the line.
An all-Canadian attraction tonight at the Montreal Forum as the Vancouver Canucks meet the Montreal Canadiens. Good evening, everybody. This is Dick Irvin speaking to you on this occasion from our Hockey Night in Canada control room here at the Montreal Forum, where our technical experts are set to bring you their usual fine job. The technical part of our telecast tonight of this Canucks-Canadiens game, the only time the Canucks play in Montreal this year. And they come in on a roll. They have gone through 6 games, unbeaten, winning 5, tying 1, and have scored road victories in Edmonton, Quebec, and Philadelphia earlier this week. Danny Gallivan is standing by to bring you the play-by-play of tonight's game, and we welcome Bobby Hull to our broadcast crew. Bobby supplying the game analysis. On our intermissions tonight, this week in the NHL, we'll take a look at the highlights of the past 7 days around the league. And we'll bring you on NHL Update live action from the Nassau Coliseum, where the New York Islanders are hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. All of this tonight as the Canadiens meet the Canucks, and we'll be back when Hockey Night in Canada returns on CBC in just a moment.
There are a lot of great sports in Canada. And at Molson's, we believe there are a lot of great reasons to support them. Fitness, entertainment, competition, and the pursuit of excellence. That's why we're committed to bring you the best in sports and special events. We're Molson Brewers, and we support great sports in Canada.
You are about to witness a new definition in efficiency and design. With 4-wheel independent suspension and rack and pinion steering, front-wheel drive Mercury Lynx has such a high level of quality, it provides low scheduled maintenance and uncommon inner space. From the new fuel-saver model through to the 3-door and 5-door hatchbacks and wagons, Lynx defines efficiency and design beautifully. Mercury Lynx, out of the ordinary, but not out of range.
Here in Montreal, it's the Canadiens against the Vancouver Canucks, while elsewhere around the National Hockey League, there are 7 games being played, including one in St. Louis between the Blues and the Toronto Maple Leafs. In Calgary, the Flames, playing much better in recent games, are hosting the New York Rangers, who were beaten 5-1 last night by the Oilers in Edmonton. In Quebec City, it's the Nordiques against the Minnesota North Stars. The Canucks are in the Smythe Division. It is the closest division of them all in the NHL right now as the teams head into the second month of the season. Vancouver with 14 points after its first 14 games, right smack dab in the middle of it. LA and Edmonton 15 apiece. Vancouver and Calgary 14. Winnipeg with 13. In the Adams Division, the Canadiens, losers only twice in 14 games, have now opened up a 6-point lead over the second-place Boston Bruins, with Quebec, Buffalo, and Hartford falling in behind. After the Canadiens game here tonight, they will play their next 4 straight on the road. The Canucks are having a very successful road trip. The 3 wins earlier this week, as we mentioned. Tomorrow night, before they head home, they meet the Sabres in Buffalo. Their next game at the Coliseum in Vancouver will be Wednesday when they host the Los Angeles Kings. As far as the individual side of things is concerned, as the NHL goes into that second month, well, guess who is leading the scoring race? Wayne Gretzky had a 3-point game last night in that 5-1 Oilers win over the Rangers. Number 99 now with 32 scoring points, 6 ahead of Mike Bossy. Kent Nilsson and Lanny McDonald are in behind, and McDonald with 16 goals leads the league in that department. Tiger Williams returns to the Vancouver lineup tonight. Tiger has been sitting on the sidelines because of the 7-game suspension he was handed recently by the NHL headquarters. While here in Montreal tonight, there will be special ceremonies at center ice prior to the opening face-off as the Montreal Canadiens honor one of the greatest players ever to wear a Canadiens uniform. For the ceremonies, we now go to center ice, and here is Claude Mouton.
Le Canadien de Montréal désire ce soir honorer l'un des joueurs les plus spectaculaires de son histoire, dont la carrière est marquée de succès remarquables. Ladies and gentlemen, the Montreal Canadiens are pleased to honor tonight one of its most exciting former players whose career had many highlights. Actif dans 968 matchs réguliers, élu à 4 reprises sur une équipe d'étoiles, il fut un des rares joueurs à avoir connu un match de 5 buts. Vainqueur de 10 Coupes Stanley, dont 4 à titre de capitaine de son équipe, il gagnait le trophée Connie Smythe, donné au joueur le plus utile des séries en 1973. Au-delà de ses statistiques, il restera dans la mémoire des partisans du Canadien longtemps à cause de ses qualités humaines exceptionnelles. He participated in 968 regular NHL games, one of the few players ever to score 5 goals in one game. He was also on 4 All-Star teams, a winner of 10 Stanley Cups, 4 of which, as captain of his team, he won the Connie Smythe Trophy, awarded to the series' most valuable player in 1973. But above those statistics, he will be remembered as a true sportsman and an exceptional human being. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Montreal's Canadiens' most recent member of the Hockey Hall of Fame, mesdames et messieurs, le plus récent membre du Canadien à être admis au temple de la renommée du hockey, the Roadrunner, Yvan Cournoyer.
Okay, Bobby Hall, you have some memories of the Roadrunner.
What a great little guy he is. We had our series, again, the original 6 in Toronto, and this guy was flying yet. He could still play, I'm sure.
I would think one of his greatest moments in hockey was the year after you left Chicago in the finals against the Blackhawks on May the 10th, 1973, on a Sunday afternoon. He scored the goal that gave the Canadiens the Stanley Cup.
I believe I was watching that game, Danny, and couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. This is great for him.
I would like to invite the Vice President and Managing Director of Club de Hockey Canadien to make a presentation to Yvan on behalf of the club and the players. Il fera une présentation au nom de l'équipe des joueurs à Yvan, Monsieur Irving Grunman.
I understand that Cournoyer takes this original 6 competition rather seriously. He trained all summer for it.
Well, he must have, because he was really flying. He had a little rough luck in a shootout. He was going in all alone. Boy, isn't that a beautiful picture? That'll look great out there in the rotunda, won't it?
And when you look back at his career, his pattern was pretty much the same as Doug Wickenheiser's. They said that he couldn't check, and he was used sparingly the first couple of years.
Well, when guys have the ability that this fella had, and Lafleur and Wickenheiser, I don't think we should ask them to do a heck of a lot of checking. Let's let them do what they can do best, skate and excite the people and put the puck in the net.
Did you do much checking?
Well, I was known, I think, more in latter years as someone who was a two-way hockey player, but early in my career, I only had one thing in mind, and that was to get from one end to the other and get that biscuit in the basket.
And now Claude Mouton is asking for Captain Gainey to come over, along with the newly elected captain of the Vancouver Canucks, Smeel. There's a fine hockey player, number 12.
He certainly is, and a great representative to be captain of a club. He comes to play every game, and I think that's what being a captain is all about.
From the Forum in Montreal, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Me and Eloise couldn't get along without the CGE air cleaner. See, Eloise doesn't like cigar smoke and hates the smell of boiled cabbage. So, smoke and smells in here, fresh, clean air out here works good. As a matter of fact, the CGE air cleaner and deodorizer is the only thing that keeps Eloise and me together. Ain't it, my little flower?
And here we are, ready to start the hockey game, and we have 46-year-old native of Lachine in the 16th season, Wally Harris. Is the linesman. Marielli and Stickle are out there. Harris is the referee. Bobby?
And there's Richard Brodeur, who has played in all but 2 periods of 14 games that the Canucks have played. And Richard Sevigny played in 7 games with a 3.3 average. Richard Brodeur's average is right on the 3 goals a game.
And for Vancouver, Gradine at center. Meal over on the right side, and Fraser the other wingman, and the Canadiens Green moving it into Vancouver territory. Butcher, he's number 5 for Vancouver, a young promising defenseman, a graduate of the Regina Pack. Remember, he was with Vancouver in some of these playoff games against the Islanders last spring. Gradine is after Green. Ludwig lugging it out and tipping that feathery pass ahead to Acton. Canadians going to the attack against the red-hot Canucks. They have been undefeated in their last 6 games, 5 victories, and a tie. Hunter is number 20 in there, forechecking. Fraser is bumped. Gradine can't get it out. A weak shot by Ryan Walter, and it's Butcher laying it up on the right side. Canadians, Walter couldn't get anywhere against Gradine. Gradine feeding it deep into the Canadian zone, and that is the signal there for Vancouver to make changes. However, they get the icing call, so they'll have plenty of time.
I want to get in an Ivan Cornway story here. The first time I saw Ivan after he had been named to the Hall of Fame, Bobby, we played the same golf club here in Montreal, Beaconsfield. I was on the 3rd tee. Ivan was coming up the 2nd hole, getting ready to hit a 9-iron. I yelled at him. I said, way to go, and he waved back, stepped up, hit the shot, 2 bounces into the cup, eagle 2.
Isn't that funny?
Well, Danny's used to that. He does that.
Take me a half a dozen or so from there.
Wickenheiser is on with Walter and Lafleur for Montreal. We have the line of Williams, Minor, and Moline for Vancouver. Up on the right side, Minor crisscrossing to the other wing. Straddling the line was Williams. Now Robinson feeding the attack, and headman's the puck to Wickenheiser. Canadians dumping it in on the big guy. Wickenheiser was checked there. Water out of the net was Brodeur.
Quick goals, the order of the night in the NHL. I'll expound on that a little later. A minute and a half here, Bobby, and this is the line that the Canadians have had doing most of the scoring for them, especially through the first 10 or 12 games. They cash in early right here. Wickenheiser, a new hockey player from the last time that you saw.
Well, here's Brodeur. He got to the corner and got the puck up the board, but there's Walter standing right there and couldn't get back in time.
Well, those wandering goaltenders. The schools of thought are mixed on that situation.
Used to have a fellow by the name of Plot that did a little of that.
He started it.
Yes.
Montreal leading Vancouver 1-0. Now it's Walter again. Alenka is number 21 for Vancouver on the boards. Lafleur try to hook it out. Vancouver bringing it into the center ice area. Alenka is shooting it in. LeMay is coming in from the right side. Wickenheiser. Lafleur. Picard is on one side. Walter on the other. Snaps that wrist shot hard. And great resiliency off that corner board brought it all the way back. Montreal making changes while the play goes on. A Picard pass goes into Brodeur. LeMay to Halenka. The big guy feeding it in for Nil. Going in against Gingras. And Delorme takes over. Tremblay. Naslund clearing it in. Number 26, Naslund. He hasn't scored many goals this year. As a matter of fact, only 4. But they have been beautiful. There's Naslund looking back. He scored! What did you say?
Don't sooner said than done, Danny.
Make it 5. Well, Bobby, I tell you, that's 5 goals. He has scored 4 of them when he's been eyeball to eyeball with the goaltender. He can put the puck in the net.
No, those guys don't miss much. They practice and practice that. I know those Swedes I played with. When we were out in practice, they didn't just go in and make a half-assed effort. They went in there and they made a great effort on the goaltenders. And Naslund, apparently he can do the same thing.
Now it's Tremblay. We'll recap those scoring plays for you when the opportunity arises. Walter unassisted at 1:30. Naslund from Fondue, 2:47.
Tonight's game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
The Defender sees lots of alien ships. The Defender sees lots of radar blips. Every blip is a ship.
Watch this, I got this guy.
On a body-snatching trip. And it's up to Defender to save them. Defender, a great Atari game.
Have you played Defender? It's the newest of the smash hit home video games that just keep coming, only from Atari.
He's better than me. Have you played Atari today?
Well, as you see, the Canadiens lead 2-0. They have their 2 goals on 2 shots on Richard Brodeur, who, in his team's 6-game unbeaten streak, has allowed just 12 goals against. He has been the best goalie in the league over the last couple of weeks.
Here is Hunter, draped in on the boards by Sneps, bouncing to the corner. Gainey, a good play by Sneps. He played it up on the wing. Gradine coming in, fires that waist-high shot. It's chopped back in. The Canadiens breaking out. The lead pass too far for Gainey. And Vancouver clearing it by. Gradine. What an outstanding hockey player Gradine is. Now Hunter right over front. Shot there by Acton. And Brodeur came up with a gilt-edged save. There's a whipping shot from the circle by Hunter. In behind the net. Butcher clearing it up on the side. Vancouver into the center ice area. Gradine cutting in on that right side. Takes a look, slides it in there. And Sevigny had no difficulty with it. Gradine had 37 goals and 49 assists last year for 86 points. Lafleur going after his man. McCarthy for Vancouver playing it into the corner. Now Walter is going to move in off the corner boards. Lafleur couldn't get it. Here's Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser getting it in front. And the Canucks clearing it to the far side. Lindgren rolled it in there. We have Vancouver having made changes while the play was going on. A long shot by Picard. 4 minutes and 50 seconds have gone by in the opening period. 2-0 for Montreal. Vancouver to the attack. Bolin trying to get a shot. He fanned on it. And the Canadiens pounce on it and clear it to Wickenheiser. Snapping his shot. And it's Hallward in the corner. Now Montreal making the changes. A minimal number of whistles so far in this game. In there goes Trombley. It's intercepted by Bootman. There's the shot, and he hit the outside of the goal post. Now Vancouver buzzing around into the corner. Miner. Sundstrom is helping him. Here's Miner getting it over the other side. A shot by Hallward. And Vancouver exerting pressure. They are behind 2-0. DeLorme tried to clear it by to the corner. Now there is Tremblay. Naslund is speeding down, has to put on the brakes. Tremblay waiting for Naslund to get in there. And the Canucks coming back to center. On the left side, LeMay whipped the shot from the left wing. LeMay, number 10, watch him. He's a great youngster. played in Ottawa last year.
This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Forum in Montreal.
Join the movement to Molson Light.
Lining up for the face-off. That is the Canadiens area. Butcher is on defense with Sneps as the Canadiens move it with shot over the line. A shot. Brodeur had to watch off the mesh. Canucks broken up at center. Carbonell, number 21. He surprised with his play for Montreal. Palinka, ahead it goes to LeMay, cutting, digging, getting set to pass it. Butcher clearing it right to Sundstrom. There's the shot. Another shot. They roll it. They hit the goal post. Another shot, and they roll it by the corner. And the Canucks not having any luck there. They had three glorious scoring opportunities. Now Montreal back. Here is Shutt rolling it to the far side. 2-0. Montreal leading Vancouver. Butcher shooting it in. But you would think with their great scoring opportunities, three of them. Here's pass in front by Robinson, inadvertently cleared in there by Boldarev, and he fired the shot wide. Gainey coming down on the left side. Gainey fires the shot off the arm of Brodeur, and it's cleared over the glass at the Vancouver line.
On NHL Update tonight, we are going to be bringing you action from the Nassau Coliseum, where the Islanders are playing Philadelphia. Here's the first part of it, the first goal. It's Brian Trottier sending Anders Kallur into the clear. Right side, snap wrist shot, 1-0 New York. We'll keep you up to date on that one, and during our intermissions tonight, we'll switch live to the Nassau Coliseum for the Islanders and the Flyers. How about this one in Hartford? Peterson scored for Buffalo 7 seconds into the game. 7 seconds later, Francis for Hartford, 1-1 after only 14 seconds.
Bobby, Vancouver seems to be coming on now.
They're coming on. They weren't ready those first couple of shifts. They were getting beat to the puck in their own end, and the Canadian forwards were skating by the Vancouver defense on the way and beating them to the puck after they shot it past them.
Neal's shot from well out, wide. Picard takes a look. Lafleur is going to gobble it up. Shoots it and chops it in toward the corner. Walter going in with Wickenheiser. Walter jammed into the boards. That Lindgren. And Lindgren is not superstitious. He has that number 13. Walter chasing it into the corner. That's McCarthy after him. Lafleur waiting for the loose puck. Over it comes backhand shot. Not much on it by Acton. Vancouver taking down over the line. A shot by Miner off Robinson's stick. Picard takes a look. That was Hunter failing to reach it. Hallward over on this side. There's Big Bubla clearing it into the center ice. And finally to the Canadian zone. Robinson rolling it out. Now 9 minutes and 55 seconds have gone by in this, the opening period. Montreal 2, Vancouver no score. Spiel on the right side winds up. There's the shot off Picard's stick over the glass.
With the score, Montreal 2, Vancouver nothing. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Over the years, your changing fuel needs have caused changes in us.
Morning, Joe. Time for gasoline.
In 1939, Esso introduced their new premium.
Esso Extra, please.
With the post-war car boom, the need for gasoline grew. Then came lower-cost self-serve.
Fill her up.
Yes, sir.
Unleaded gasoline.
Premium unleaded, please.
Diesel. And down the road, propane and future fuels. Anticipating your needs makes us better.
You make us better, you do. It's so.
Roger Nielsen, what a job he has done with this Vancouver team. And Roger Nielsen, he was the man in the playoffs last year who elevated the ordinary common towel to a plateau of enormous popularity among these enthusiastic and dedicated Vancouver fans. Body check thrown on the far side by Smeal on a Hunter, and there is an offside.
On This Week in the NHL, coming up in our first intermission, Darryl Sittler speaks out. He reacts to Punch Imlach's new book, Heaven and Hell in the NHL. We'll have highlights of games played earlier this week as well. Coming up first intermission, This Week in the NHL.
Montreal 2, Vancouver no score. It's centered up near the line, swept back in by Ludwig. Gainey looking for it, being checked by Bubla. Now here's Acton off the boards. And Gainey is going to the far side. Bubla still after him, and Bubla may get an interference penalty.
This game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Never thought I'd agree with him.
We don't agree.
You don't think folks shop at Canadian Tire because they got so many gift ideas? Housewares, sporting goods?
Nonsense. They go there to save money.
No, to make people happy.
Saving money makes me happy.
Oh, Ebenezer, you know you've got a heart of gold in there.
And it's mine. All mine.
Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa
and save like Scrooge.
Well, you're right, Danny. Interference to call on the veteran Yuri Bubla. Played only 23 games last year because of a broken ankle.
Lafleur, Wickenheiser, Robinson, Gingras, and Walter on the power play. We'll pick up the Vancouver defenders in just a moment or two. Puck is kept in there by the Canadiens. There's Walter with Lafleur around the net. Walter bringing it up to Wickenheiser. Gingras. Back it goes to Wickenheiser into Lafleur. Lafleur trying to center. Good defensive play by Lindgren. Now Canadiens with it again. It's cleared to the line and out over the line. Riding down there. Moline, 26. Reiner's up front also for Vancouver. Snaps is on defense with Lindgren. Lafleur going in. It's cleared up to the point. Here's Gingras. He's going to keep it in. Winds up for the shot. It goes off the stick. Miner's stick. Gingras again playing it in on the board. Wickenheiser feeding it to the side of the net. Lafleur bouncing into the corner. Wickenheiser is going to get it, and back it comes to Gingras. There's the shot, and he wrapped it off Miner's leg. Robinson near the line, feeding it in front, and Sepp cleared it down on the right side. 44 seconds remaining in the penalty to Bubla. Have you comment on this power play, Bobby?
Well, they're getting control of the puck all right, but they're not getting any drives on the net.
It's rather important you get it in the general direction of the net. You expect to get a goal, but the Canadiens have two. Vancouver defending well. Shot getting it back to Robinson. There's a screen shot. Brodeur very nimbly kicked it out. It's loose the shot. He shoots it. A save. Another shot. And it's passed back by Acton. What frantic, feverish activity down there in front of Brodeur. A half dozen seconds left in the Bubla penalty. Now Canadiens dropping it over on the far side. Acton utilizing that speed. Cutting. Acton around the net. Getting set. Will he get it back? Into the corner. It goes there. Along the boards, they fight for it. Gradine was looking for a loose puck and never did get loose.
And the penalty to Bubla is over. The Canucks weathered a bit of a storm, and Bobby, Richard Brodeur had to face some tough chances only toward the end of it. Right here.
Well, finally they got the puck to big Larry Robinson, and there was the shot by Robinson. Brodeur stood in his
stood up, was ready for Acton. Acton threw the puck back to Hunter, who wasn't quite ready for it. Thought he could have made the try himself. Here it is here. Pulled it and then threw it back to Hunter and went right between his stick and his leg.
7 minutes and 59 seconds of time remaining in the opening period. 2-0 Montreal. Snip clearing it. Knocked down by Green. There's Snips again. Out on the left side, Bolderez takes that long, harmless type of shot. Naslund around the net. Laying it up, and it's Tremblay taking the look. It goes to Green, ahead to Mondeau, over the line. To Tremblay, there's the shot. Not much on that. Butcher, good defensive play, got right in front of Tremblay. Now it goes to Mondeau. He swings around with the shot. Bolderez. Where's Rota? He generally scores a lot of goals here. There he is over there now. Last time in here, he had 3 goals for Vancouver. And what a start that was for Vancouver. They didn't lose another game in the regular season. And the story, of course, is well told about their playoff performance.
I understand that they've been winning a lot of those games by really consistent forechecking, Danny. Let's watch and see if they're going to do it tonight, if they can catch Montreal.
Well, there's that 1-1 Hartford-Buffalo situation. They are now into the second period. 2 goals in the first 14 seconds, a scoreless tie in the second period at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. The New Jersey Devils playing the Red Wings. I'm Dick Irvin with Danny Gallivan and Bobby Hull. We are here while they are scoreless in Quebec City. And NHL update, the Flyers and the Islanders. It's 1-0 New York. We showed you the goal. We'll continue to bring you highlights.
Sundstrom, number 17, is on for Vancouver. Playing his first year, he has been outstanding so far. He was drafted 2 years ago, but he had 2 years of military commitment in Sweden, and so the Canucks got him this year, and he looks like a dandy. He'll not be 20 until the 14th of December. I'm talking, Bobby, about Sundstrom.
Yeah, young fellow that played with Brenus. And like all those other Swedes, they're very talented.
Live from the Forum in Montreal, Hockey Night in Canada.
You gotta have heart. Heart. Molson Light has got heart. Its light taste has got heart. Molson Light has got heart. Heart!
Join the movement to Molson Light.
Montreal with the defense of Ludwig and Green in over the line. Back it goes. Green takes the shot. A good leg save there by Brodeur. Here come the Canucks into the center ice area. Halinka over to Fraser, broken up at the line. Coming in off the right wing boards, Charbonneau, back it goes, the shot. And off the heel of his stick, there's a harmless backhand shot by Nyland. Charbonneau along the boards with McCarthy. Charbonneau getting it back. Ludwig winds up, screen shot off the leg. Sundstrom up on the left side for Fraser. Ludwig clearing, not out. Here's Fraser with it. It comes into the crease. Bouncing in there, tracing. Sundstrom was trying to get in there to direct it into the net. But 78 picked it up.
Bobby, Ivan Halinka is out there. As I recall, in the Canada Cup Series in which you played in 76, he was a Czechoslovakian, of course. As we look at Rick Green, who's played for Canada overseas, I think Halinka was chosen the outstanding forward in that series.
They had some real strong center icemen. A couple of them now playing in the National League.
Right, Novi is down in the capital. Where's number 66? He's 33 short of 99.
In all ways, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. You said it, I did.
That area in the Canadian zone, Radin is on with Moline and Steele. Brodeur playing it to the far side. Hunter for Canadiens. 2-0 Montreal leading in this hockey game. 5 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in this period, which is the first period. As Gingras pass knocked down at the line, however, it's out over the line. The Canucks getting it back to Bubla over on the other side. Hard body check and a penalty for interference on Delorme. And I don't think there's any question about that, Bobby. He swayed it quite a distance.
The puck went by the Vancouver player, Moline, and he didn't even touch it. And Delorme just kept coming, and it was definitely, here it is here. The puck went right by Moline, and there's Delorme taking a run at him.
Just, Bob, if you're willing to take a hit, sometimes maybe you just don't touch the puck when the other fellow thinks you will, and zingo. He's taking a chance.
Well, it's at the discretion of the referee a lot of times. That was quite late.
2 minutes pour obstruction. À 14 minutes 52 secondes. Canadiens penalty, number 27, Gilbert Delorme. 2 minutes for interference at 14 minutes 52 seconds.
So an opportunity here for Vancouver to get back into contention. They're down by 2 goals. However, now they have the opportunity to apply the power play. Sundstrom is out there, Boldarev, Gradine. Over on the far side, we have Bubla, and Howard is the other man on the Vancouver alignment. They go back there to get their power play into what they hope will be fruitful operation toward that end. Bubla feeds it into the center ice area. Boldarev in over the line, working it in there, back it comes in front, and the pass intercepted by Walter. Walter playing at the center. Bubla knocked him in on the board. In over the line, Gradine getting it back on this side to Sundstrom. There's the shot, it bounces. Canadiens forcing it again there. That it missed the far open side. Now back near the blue line. The Canucks, where will it go? Boldarev has it. He's getting in front, takes the shot off Picard's leg, and finally it was cleared over the glass by Savigny.
Danny, Evan Boldarev was the man who made that power play work there at that point. He's always played well against the Canadiens. With the Hawks, with the Flames, now with the Canucks. And now we go to NHL Update as we crank the boys back and forth in Uniondale, New York at the Nassau Coliseum, where the Flyers have tied the game. So it's 1-1. Tim Kerr doing the scoring as he seems to get out of a bit of a traffic jam and jams at home past Billy Smith, short side. We'll continue to bring you highlights from that game. It's 1-1 first period.
4:22 left. In the penalty, 1 minute and 12 seconds. There's Gainey clearing it out. The Vancouver Canucks, because of the stature they gained in fine fashion in the playoffs last spring, they are now a rather attractive hockey attraction. And again, they're playing very well. As we noted back about 10 minutes ago, they're undefeated in their last 6 games. Right now, they are on the power play. But, Bobby, what do they have to do here in this power play now? They have the face-off inside the Canadian zone.
Well, the most important thing is to get over that blue line and retain possession, and then make the plays out from the corners. And guys like Johnny Busick, that the play always came out of the corner, out into the slot area, and that's where the danger man is. There has to be someone to control that puck from the corners and get it out in front to those big guys that can't be moved.
Halinka is on. Now along the boards. It comes to the side. They fail to clear it out. In goes Moline. Montreal shooting it down the ice. 34 seconds left in the penalty. We see LeMay on now. He's number 10. Spiel is 12. Vancouver coming up. Halinka took that pass in the center ice area. The big guy in over the line. Spiel is chasing it behind the net. Here's LeMay. He trapped it. He's getting set. Into the corner it goes again along the board. Spiel is knocked to the ice. Halinka getting it back to McCarthy. Back to Halinka. Over on the side it comes. They roll it right in from the net. A wide cut. A big four. Was it big Halinka who fired it in?
That was Halinka. Came between couple of skates right on his stick, and he wasted no time and fired it up high, and 7-ace left.
Hey, look at the towels around the Montreal Forum. There are a few Vancouver Canucks towels here. That was coming, Bobby. The Canadiens just did not get possession to clear the zone.
Well, here's the play coming out of the corner. There was a little bit of a scramble in front of the net. There was the shot by Helinka.
Roger Nielsen has the franchise towels in Montreal.
First goal scored by number 21, Ivan Linka. Avec l'aide numéro 12, assisted by number 12, Stan Smil. Aide numéro 25 and number 25.
Now here's Sundstrom going in, fires, and then a great block grab by Stephanie.
This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Forum in Montreal.
Great Canadian Christmas time start with a visit to the Bay's Toy Department. And this year it's a better deal than ever because you could really be a winner.
By simply entering your name in the Bay Toy Department, you could win this full-size Turtles arcade game, or Odyssey 2 video games with Turtles cartridges, or Turtles handheld arcade games, or Turtles board games.
Look for contest details in the Bay's Children's Christmas book. It's packed with exciting values from the store that wrote the book on Christmas. Come on, Canada. Meet you at the Bay.
There you see the statistical story. 2:58 the time remaining. This is the first period. 2-1 for Montreal. Vancouver, caught off guard early in the period, are now coming back rather strongly. Lafleur to Shut. Shut is on this line with Lafleur and Wickenheiser. And I would think that was because Walter was out there killing the penalty. Now, in on the board, Shut. Here is Snepp. Snepp got a pass ahead. Gradine working it down in over the line. See him handle that puck on his skate. Robinson into the corner. Sundstrom trying to get it. Gradine tied up by Wickenheiser and Robinson. He's having difficulty. Neal goes in there to help out. The Canucks fighting furiously here. They'd love to tie it up before the end of the period in their way they're playing. They might just do that now with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. In on the boards in the corner. Back on the board. Canadiens can't get possession. Finally, they get it out over the line. And back it goes to Butcher. Gradine to Snepp. Somebody lost a glove and it's still down there in behind Brodeur in the Vancouver net. Now Picard lugging it up for Montreal in on that right side with splendid moves. He centered it and it's gobbled up in front. Beal is wheeling back. The pass stopped at center by Tremblay. Now it's picked up by Naslund. Naslund is getting a break going in. He scores!
He sure can put it in the net, can he, Danny? He makes no mistake when he walks in there.
He's very exciting.
Oh, he certainly is. Got real quick moves. Didn't take him all day to release that puck. Watch him go in here on his off wing. Look at that. He shot that puck before Brodeur even knew it was coming.
Bobby, what I like about many of the European players, they use that wrist shot.
Oh, absolutely. Anders Hedberg used to go in the same way in that right side. He'd be just dancing, and he'd let it fly before the goaltenders would even be able to move on it.
Number 14, Mario Tremblay. 18 minutes 35 seconds at 18 minutes 35 seconds.
18:35, Naslund from Tremblay. Montreal 3, Vancouver 1. Hallward fails to clear it out against Gainey. Now the Canucks into the center ice area. Kubla firing it in. Field coming in from the other side. And he couldn't center it against Reed. Now there's Rhoda taking a shot, and he fired it wide. In it goes to the side of the net. Field knocks Green off balance. Into the corner goes Rhoda. Took a gentle bump from Acton and down on the right side. Canadiens Hunter over. It goes to Acton breaking in there. A penalty. Somebody coming back. Was it Boldered who did the hooking?
Well, I believe it was called for offside, and I think they'll likely eliminate the penalty.
Well,
maybe we can have a look at it. Here it is. Hunter made a good play to try to stay onside, but I guess his feet slid over both feet. Wally Harris, I believe, called a penalty, but the play had already stop, Danny, at the blue line.
Well, that's right. Captain Gainey is now talking to Harris. Harris has gone over to talk to Bob Berry, the coach of the Canadiens. And the whistle had gone apparently, calling the infraction on the offside. LeMay over on the right side. Halinka at center for Vancouver. Fraser 24 is the other forward. Canadians with Walter trying to center it to Lafleur. Lafleur along the boards, tied up effectively by Halinka. Now here's LeMay, laying it into the center ice area. Picard wrapped it back in. And in there goes Lindgren. A dozen seconds remaining. Here's Lafleur twisting and turning, trying to get in front. He couldn't. Halinka playing it to the far side. 3 seconds, and this is going to be the opening period right here. 9-7 the shots on goal. 3-1 for Montreal over Vancouver, and now here's Dick.
Fast start for the Canadiens with 2 goals in the first 2 minutes and 47 seconds, but the Canucks settled down. They got the power play goal by Ivan Halinka, but then late in the period, Mats Naslin's second goal of the hockey game restored a 2-goal edge for Montreal. 3-1 is the score at the end of the first period. On our first intermission, the NHL this week. This week in the NHL, we'll take you all around the league with the highlights, and NHL Update will bring you more action from the Nassau Coliseum, where the Islanders and the Flyers are tied 1-1. So the score here at the end of 1, 3-1 Montreal.
You gotta have heart. Mazel, mazel, mazel heart. If you're moving to a field of great taste, there's only one place to start. Molten Light has got heart. Just like Grace has got heart, Molten Light has got heart. Heart!
Join the movement to Molson Light.
In the world of action watches, trust Seiko for advanced dual display technology even 300 feet beneath the sea. Trust Seiko for watches that display any of 6 timekeeping functions with a turn of the bezel. For alarm chronographs that even measure your pulse rate. Seiko watches and clocks, the most advanced performers in timekeeping. No wonder people trust Seiko more than any other watch.
From the furnaces at Ford, it's Mustang GT, the boss for 1983. Hot new styling, new 4-barrel carburetor, a 5-liter high-output engine. The boss, the 175-horsepower Mustang GT. One hot piece of steel.
35 ways to become more effective with long distance. Your reactions, please. Droninger?
Masterpiece, boss. Great tips on confirming orders and correspondence.
Big B?
Profound, Chief. Everything I want to know about improving customer service with long distance.
Armbrust area?
Chock full of ways to boost sales, but what's in it for you, boss?
I think this is one book we can all judge by its cover.
Call toll-free 1-800-268-6364 for your free copies.
I'm Peter Mansford. Liberals are meeting in Ottawa this weekend to discuss their party and its future. Tomorrow evening, join CBC News Specials for a report.
And now, from the Hockey Night in Canada Control Center, this week in the NHL, an inside look at the past week's activity throughout the league. Here is Brian McFarland.
Thank you, Dick. This week in the NHL, Scotty Bowman coached his 1,000th NHL hockey game. Wayne Gretzky kept his scoring streak alive. He scored at least 1 point in every game he's played in so far this year. And Los Angeles rookie Bernie Nichols is tops in power play scoring, 11 of 14 scored with the man advantage. Ever since Darryl Sittler left Toronto, he's kept very quiet about his problems with Punch Imlach. But now that Punch Imlach has written a new book, Darryl Sittler has chosen to speak out.
I look at Punch Imlach. I didn't read the whole book, but I read some of the excerpts, and I look at it happy in Philadelphia, and I didn't know if there was life after Toronto, but I found out there is.
One critic points out that Punch Imlach has always had a sense of humor, but in his new book, he says the humor has disappeared, leaving nothing but anger and vindictiveness. We'll return with more on This Week in the NHL right after this.
When it comes to feeling young, a lot of it's up here.
3 years ago, Maurice Richard said goodbye gray hair. Hello, Grecian Formula 16.
It was so easy, remember?
Grecian's as easy to use as water. Works for any color hair.
The change was so gradual and looked so natural, no one even noticed. Today, I still leave a touch of gray. The wife likes it.
Hey, Richard, 2 minutes for looking so good.
Look as young as you feel with Grecian Formula 16, liquid or cream.
Hey, Canada, now McDonald's gives you a break with a barbecue taste. New McRib.
What's it taste like?
Really? It's a rib-shaped boneless pork patty with this, and this, and this. And it tastes like this. That's new McRib.
Well, could you, maybe describe the taste?
Great. But what's it taste like? Like barbecued ribs. Bumps out the bone.
Yeah? Yeah, new McRib. Come on, Canada. Come and taste it.
NHL highlights featuring the play of the week, brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
Back to last year's form. It's time now for our Panasonic Play of the Week, and it points out why the fans in Winnipeg appreciate all the little things that Dale Hawerchuk does so well. This comes from Wednesday's game at Edmonton between the Jets and the Oilers. Watch Charlie Huddy cough up the puck from the corner. Look at Hawerchuk, number 10, just inside the line. Watch the move here as Huddy goes to check him. And then the puck is in the net. Edmonton wins the game, but Hawerchuk wins our salute for this move right here. Gretzky misses, so does Huddy. There's the goal-scoring shot, and that's our Play of the Week.
The Play of the Week has been brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
Panasonic, ahead of its time, with a smaller, lighter, 8-hour portable video recorder. A fully automatic color video camera that responds as quickly as the action unfolds. And Panasonic color television with the clear advantage of a CompuFocus Quintrix 2 lens. Purchase a selected video recorder, camera, or color TV now and receive at no extra cost a Panasonic Stereo to Go or AccuSet clock radio. See your participating Panasonic dealer for complete details now.
For the dreams you've grown up with and hold on to so dearly. For the promises you've made to yourself. Safe, secure Canada Savings Bonds. Your bond with the future. On sale October 25th.
Next week on Hockey Night in Canada, the Winnipeg Arena will be the scene of a Smythe Division matchup between the visiting Vancouver Canucks and the hometown Winnipeg Jets. Meanwhile, at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs will face the top team in the Norris Division, the Minnesota North Stars. Next week, then, it's Vancouver at Winnipeg, Minnesota at Toronto on Hockey Night in Canada.
Here in Montreal tonight, the Canadiens lead the Vancouver Canucks 3-1 after one. 2 goals for Mats Naslund, 1 for Ryan Walder, and Ivan Alinka has scored for the Canucks. Now, on NHL Update, we're going to take you to the Nassau Coliseum, where the Islanders and the Flyers are tied 1-1. New York playing shorthanded. First period, the play-by-play by Mike Emmerich. He's with Bobby Taylor and Ed Van Imp. Here they are.
Flyer fans have no reason to be downcast when the Flyers get behind, because they have been behind in all but one game this year, but have a winning record. Bill Barber to Flockhart, hurries the shot and drives it wide. Trottier to play, jams it on the backhand to Bourne, and Bob Bourne for the shorthanded Islanders leads it in. Tried to get by Howe, got a shot away, saves St. Croix, and a second on the rebound, and he'll hang on. Nice work by Bob Bourne of the Islanders.
Well, that's his second excellent defensive play. This time when the Islanders were a man short, he was on the offense, put the puck underneath Howe and just busted around him. Lockhart coming back was not able to stop him from making the initial play, and also jabbing away at the puck as Ricky St. Croix covered up. Bourne's got that excellent speed, moves to the outside, puts it past Mark Howe, steps to his forehand. Flockhart harassing from behind, still able to get the play off as Ricky St. Croix covered up.
Bourne and Mark Taylor for the draw, and it's free to Billy Barber with 1:08 to go in the power play. 2:30 left in the first period of our game tonight on Prism from the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island. Ahead with it is Barber, feeding on to Mark Taylor. Flips it through to Billy Barber, backhander high off Melanson. Rebound cleared, not out. Taylor with a wrist shot. That one's dropped, picked up by Barber, who goes and sweeps at the board. Barber pestered from behind by Potvin, shakes loose from that, dropped near the front of the goal as the puck comes to Ray Allison. And Allison feeds the easy play to Taylor, then back to Allison. Pass broken up, and Caller just one-hands it back into the Flyer zone. 32 seconds to go on the power play, and 1:55 in this opening period. Game tied at 1. The goal scorer is Caller for the Islanders and Kerr for Philadelphia. Across now to Mark Taylor, feeds to Howe. Wrist shot, save on the play. Melanson cleared all the way back down by Pearson, and a play needs to be made on this one by St. Croix. Prop comes to the bench, and stepping back out now is Paul Evans. Dvorak looking directly at him, but couldn't get the pass away because of Goring's presence. Now has it on the money to Paul Evans. Evans steps in, able to sweep by. Cross-ice pass just off Taylor's stick, and Langevin leads back up now to Butch Goring. Penalty time has expired as Goring's in, drops for Langevin, checked by Cochran. Loose one, slipped high to the corner glass by Mark Howe. Cochran flips it along, but it's off Allison's glove. Langevin with a shot that bounced off Howe to the corner. Fed back by Mike Bossy for Langevin, but by him, and the Islanders have to regroup at center ice, and they'll make some personnel changes. Langevin, Tonelli, and Bossy are the Islanders out right now, and they pick up 2 more as they shoot in, and one of them has it. Trottier to Tonelli. Wrist shot, nicely blocked by Mark Howe. He got a stick in the way and deflected it into the seats.
So there you have it, 1-1, and we will continue to bring you action on NHL Update from that game at the Nassau Coliseum, the Islanders against the Philadelphia Flyers. As we mentioned, a fairly busy night in the National Hockey League, as is usually the case on a Saturday. 8 games all told. As we check the out-of-town scores right now, they had that fast start in the game in Hartford, 2 goals in the first 14 seconds, but Muller has put Buffalo ahead 2-1 there in the second period. Scoreless in Detroit, Philadelphia and the Islanders, you have it 1-1. Scoreless in Calgary. In the second period, the Flames and the Rangers. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
Throughout the Yukon, the Western Northwest Territories, and Northern BC, 20,000 subscribers depend for telephone service upon Northwest Tel, a CN company. 1 million square miles of wilderness is a tough place to be in the phone business, and it takes one of the world's most sophisticated telecommunication systems to do it right. The number of people we serve is small, the distance is vast, and the difficulties enormous. Yet Northwest Tel pays its own way because it's run efficiently. CN, in business for Canada.
Here's your gold.
Oh, now you're cooking.
You are.
You know, I think Jack really worships you.
Really?
Sure, he gave you a burnt offering.
Oh, so how'd you know we were having a barbecue?
Just follow the fire trucks.
Oh.
These homegrown tomatoes?
Yeah, except for Mary. She's from the West Coast.
You sure got a lot of friends.
Mine. I thought they were yours.
What a great way to open a party.
All you gotta say is golden.
He's on leave and looking for action.
I just adore uniforms.
Well, there's some...
Sunday on Home Fires.
Montreal 3, Vancouver 1 in the second period, about to get underway. For Vancouver, Fraser on the left side, Gradina at center, and Smeal on the right wing against Gainey, Acton, and Hunter. Lindgren is on defense for Vancouver along with McCarthy. Green is out there with Ludwig for Montreal, and Montreal going to the line, and a good solid check there by McCarthy on Acton. Gainey getting it back to Ludwig. Canadiens going to the attack. Hunter along the boards, playing it back in there. Acton sidesteps the check, took a gentle bump from Lindgren, and Gradine comes up with it for Vancouver. Into that center ice area, jammed out of the play by Gainey, and Savigny is going to cover up. Bobby Hall, you were the possessor of one of the great shots in the history of hockey. And in your day, there weren't too many could really rattle that puck, but it seems to me today, everybody can shoot at 100 miles an hour.
Now, Danny, it seems like there are half a dozen in every club that can really fire that puck. The kids are bigger now. That's what I noticed when I first came back to do some work for Hockey Night in Canada. When I went into the dressing rooms of these young NHL clubs, I had to look up. I got a stiff neck looking up at all these kids. And they're bigger and stronger than they used to be.
Williams, Miner, and Moline to the attack in the Canadian zone. Williams getting it back. Got in there wide by Butcher. Now Green gives it to Ludwig. Headmans the puck. Wickenheiser to Walter. Over to Lafleur, dashing in. Shoots. The angle was rather severe. Brodeur played it well, came out. Now it goes back near the line. Ludwig into Lafleur, winding up for the shot off a leg. Williams takes a look. Gets the pass away. Over the line comes Miner. Miner tries to carry on against Green. Now Wickenheiser upended Miner, and we get a whistle and a face-off in Montreal territory. Now we have an update of a goal here by Potvin. Bobby?
Here's the shot from the point. It looked like it was going high over the net. It bounced right back to Potvin, who was standing unmolested, and he fired it home. That was from Bourne. Bourne took the original shot.
Do you think there's a team around that'll beat this Islanders club in the playoffs next spring?
Well, I haven't seen them yet, Denny.
You haven't seen enough teams, or you haven't seen the team?
I haven't seen the team yet.
Now here is Moline trying to fire it in front, and Canadiens shooting it down the ice. Butcher laying it on the boards. At the line, Miner to Snets. There's Butcher getting it back, and Snets at the line. Pass intercepted by Lafleur. Over the line with Walter. Walter winds up for the shot off the blocker of Brodeur. From the Forum in Montreal, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
In the world of electronics, there are no boundaries. Case in point, advanced space phone. Part of the new generation of System 3 television from Zenith. It turns your TV into a telephone. You can take or make phone calls right through your Zenith.
Hello.
And with the built-in speakerphone, the whole family can say happy birthday to Grandma. Advanced space phone, part of the new generation from Zenith, where the quality goes in before the name goes on.
Vancouver out shooting Montreal 10-9. Montreal leading 3-1. Ondu back to Descartes. He knifed it into the corner. Boublin fighting for possession with Tremblay. Now here's LeMay. LeMay into the center ice area. This young fellow can move. Going in, he went one way with Descartes watching him and staying with him. And Bobby, that's what the defenseman is supposed to do. Watch for that, Nick.
That's it. Guy can't go anywhere. If you look him in the eye, look him in the chest, you start watching that puck, and some of these guys can handle it so well, they'll have you going dizzy.
Mo LeMay picked up a shiner somewhere along the way. He'll have a few more of those before his career.
He will if he wants to get into the action, Nick.
Right. Marion Stastny has 2 goals for the Quebec Nordiques tonight. They've gone ahead of Minnesota 3-0.
They're doing pretty well for fellows who are unhappy in Quebec. I read a story in the paper today where they're terribly lonesome.
What for?
All the goals they're getting, you think they'd be supremely happy. Not to say anything about the amount of money.
Of course, that's a pretty nice country over there in Czechoslovakia. We've been there a couple of times and always been treated royally by the folks in Praha.
Ken Ellicott, the backup goaltender in the Canucks scheme of things, has played in just 2 periods this season, and the first 2 in a game in New York against the Rangers. I guess Brodeur, Danny, with 40 out of 42 periods, make it 41 out of 43 now. He is the busiest goalie in the league, I'm sure.
And he could be, if he is not the best, he's up there with the best of them.
I believe it.
Brodeur was the player, of course, more than any other, I think, who sparked Vancouver to such an exciting and successful playoff performance last year. Mondu makes a nice move into the center ice area with Tremblay and Naslund. Good defensive play there by LeMay. Coming back, he took his man out of the play. Pass knocked away by Boublin. Now Vancouver into the center ice area. There's Big Holinka. Over on the other side, Sundstrom. He has great moves around the net. And this time he lost it against Gingras. Canadiens. Naslund coming down to the line. The little guy takes a look. There's a pass. Over it goes, backhand shot by Mondu. Mondu taking the pass. Didn't get much on it with the backhand shot. Now there's a hand for some of the Canadiens going up. I would think Naslund in particular. There's a pass to the other side. Rota against shot. Rota down into the center ice area. Drop pass goes to Bolderev. He's upended. There was a hook there, and there's a penalty coming up against the Canadiens. And, of course, Brodeur was way out of the net to the bench.
Tonight's game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Boy, you sure know how to throw a party.
Well, it's on the wrist.
Hi, I just moved in next door. May I borrow a cup of golden? Thanks.
On my watch?
Do you swim a lot?
Oh, just enough to keep from drowning. So, you're an old friend of Bob's.
Oh, sure. We go back, must be an hour.
What a great way to open a party.
All you gotta say is golden.
Looking call on Steve Shutt, Bobby, not much doubt.
No, not at all. He came back good. But that's a no-no.
Neal is on with Bolderev, Rhoda, Gubla, and a Hallward on the power play for Vancouver. They trail by 3-1. Now Neal chopping into the corner. Rhoda, number 18, dashing in. The other side cleared by Sevigny over the glass.
What a time they called a lot of penalties against goaltenders. Roger Nielsen back coaching tonight. He missed the game in Quebec Tuesday. Roger, a hernia operation in Toronto that day. Talk about coming back off the injured list in a hurry. He made it to Philadelphia for the game on Thursday night. This is Guy Lafleur sitting in her accustomed spot, and there's little Martin watching Pop, who is watching the hockey game by the looks of it from the bench.
Now Hallward working off the boards. There's a shot off the arm of Sevigny. Hallward finally lost it, and Green shot it down the ice. Minute and 25 seconds, the time remaining in the penalty to Shutt. Vancouver to the attack. Bolderev, he has excellent moves. He has it there, playing it back to the line. Hallward into Bolderev. Excellent play, turning around, back to the boards. Hallward a shot. Sevigny has that taped all the way. Spiel is going to keep it in. There he is, sliding a shot in there, the rebound. Rhoda fan down at Hallward, trying to set up Spiel coming in from the right boards, and the Canadiens fail to clear it out the first time. And Ludwig sends it down the ice. 42 seconds left in the penalty. Hallward coming down with Gradino over the line. Off the stick, Mondoon starting out with Walters. Mondoon dumping it rather delicately into the corner and watching his check. Now he turns to come back, and Vancouver into the center ice area. Gradine snapping it in. Vancouver not too effective on this power play. They stop it there, kick it back in. Here's Holinka. Holinka takes a look. Holinka's going to get in there with the pass. He should score. Oh, what a beautiful setup that was, with Moline going in there to pick it up. And what a knife-filling goal that was, Bobby.
That was patience personified. Holinka had the puck over on the right side. Let's watch him. Here he is with the puck. And there's the pass across after Moline had snuck around from his point position. Let's watch it again here from behind the net. There's Holinka firing the puck across. Moline didn't stop it. He just fired it before Sevigny could get across the net.
You know, Bobby, the Canadiens got in trouble there when Sevigny came out and cleared the puck on the boards. It came off at a funny angle, and nobody could handle it for Montreal. The Canucks hopped right on it. Super play by Holinka.
42 seconds.
5 minutes, 42 seconds. Moline from Holinka and McCarthy. It is now a differential of 1 goal, 3-2, Montreal. Now Shutt at the line, playing it in for Lafleur. Lafleur tries to set up Wickenheiser. Butcher playing it to the boards. Williams in there. Lafleur is knocked to the ice heavily by Miner. Miner didn't have a stick. There's a shot by Picard. Another shot to the short side by Lafleur. And Brodeur held his ground.
Canadiens not getting all that many chances. They got into a 2-0 lead. Here we go out of town. Buffalo over Hartford. 2-1. You can make that 3-1 now. Muller has 2 goals. Still scoreless in Detroit. The Red Wings and New Jersey. And the 2 goals by Marion Stastny, leading Quebec to that 3-0 lead. The Islanders have gone ahead of Philadelphia 2-1. A Denny Potvin goal in the second period. Still scoreless in Calgary, the Flames, and the Rangers. And nothing in yet from St. Louis, where the Toronto Maple Leafs are meeting the Blues. That one just underway.
Montreal with Gingras and Delorme, the defenseman, out of your picture at the line. Back to Gingras, the shot right on. punching there. He had it lined up.
He challenges him. He's not a very big fellow, Richard Brodeur, but he isn't afraid to stick his chin out there and challenge all those big shooters.
Easier for them to stick the chin out these days, Bobby, in the days of the mask. Can you imagine how they used to play? Glenn Hall, Terry Such, Gus Worship.
Gradine is centering for Fraser and Smeal. Gingras, another shot nowhere near the net. Delorme poked it back in there. There is Hunter on the move. Hunter trying to get in front. He was tied up by Bugla, or is that McCarthy? They are in a brace there now.
That's McCarthy in the fight with Mark Hunter. Didn't really take much for them to get started, and naturally the hometown fans appreciate it when the hometown player ends up, once they finally hit the deck, on top. So now the linesmen go about the business of applying the crowbar technique and trying to get them parted. In Glenn Hall, I always remember Bobby said the worst part about playing golf with the Chicago Blackhawks was practicing against Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita. When you guys came up with the hook sticks.
He didn't like Brother Dennis either.
Oh, that's
he
true.
used to stand way over with 2/3 of his body outside the post on the one side and give Dennis 7/8 of the net, but Dennis used to fire it at him anyhow.
Here's how this whole thing started. And it's Kevin McCarthy and Mark Hunter down in the Vancouver zone. Starts with a push, and a push becomes a shove. And a shove leads to the sticks going down, and that's it. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Forum in Montreal.
Whew, we'll be up all night doing your homework.
Don't worry, Dad. I just put Energizers in the calculator.
Of all leading battery brands, nothing outlasts the Energizer from Eveready. Nothing outsnaps it. Nothing outadds, outwalks, outplays, outtapes, outshines, outlasts it. Nothing.
The Energizer even outlasted Dad.
The Energizer, energize for life.
Long life.
Energize me.
Major penalties have been called on Hunter and McCarthy. So there is no change in the strength of numerical strength on the ice. 3-2 Canadiens lead.
13 minutes and 8 seconds of time left in the second period. Canadiens dump it in, go after it. And they shot it, apparently, from their side of the center red line, and that is an icing infraction against Canadiens.
We now go to the Nassau Coliseum on NHL Update. And as we pick up the action, the Islanders are leading 2-1, but Ron Flockhart's goal ties it. That is Roland Melisson, not Bobby Smith, playing in the net tonight for the Islanders. So the Flyers, who have been struggling of late, are hanging tough, and they have tied the game in the second period. It's 2-2. Bobby, do you like the long pants?
Oh, I just like them immensely. I went to see my son Bobby play here a couple of years ago when he was in Winnipeg, and I thought the other team hadn't shown up and they were just out there for a workout, for a warm-up. I don't like them at all.
Gradine is at center, Smeal on one wing, Fraser on the other, Lindgren is on the left point, and Bubla over on the other side. But the Canadiens get possession, and they are chased back off the board. In goes Gradine. He was taken out of the play by Acton. Canucks hanging puck. Bubla, a shot, and a big leg save there by Sevigny. That looked like the tying goal for a fraction of a second. It was a good shot, Bobby. It was low.
Well, that was that tremendous forechecking, the pressure that Vancouver put on that we talked about earlier, Danny. That's won them a lot of these games earlier in the season. They had the three forwards all checking there, rotating.
Now they're in there again. Canadiens, however, coming out, Acton along with Nyland. Shot. Easy chance for Brodeur. Getting it out. Fraser took the pass from Neal, back to Neal, into the corner. Neal comes from the hand of Alberta. Somebody else comes from there who's doing very well these days. You have 10 seconds. Now on the right side, Mondu. Shot. Oh, Brodeur reaching out Alberta. Vancouver playing it into the center ice area.
And Brodeur has been shaken up. He's hurt and down on his knees.
I believe when he tried to get the puck, I don't think maybe it was the puck that hurt him, the shot. when he went to try to reach the puck, it was just out of his reach. I believe maybe he stretched something. Let's have a look at it and see. Here's the shot. I don't think that hurt him. Now here's maybe where it hurt him. Maybe when he went down backwards, he might have twisted his knee a little bit. Let's watch and see after the shot.
First angle, it didn't seem as though anyone made contact with him, but they stopped it. Now there he falls.
That left knee maybe went under him a little bit. His left leg went under him, and he may have stretched that a little bit. Let's see where if he grabs it.
Well, they're gathered around at the Vancouver goal crease area. King Richard with some great size. One of them said, he's not heavy, he's my brodeur. Last year. So that was great. He gets a hand from the forum crowd. Who comes from Hannah? It has to be Lanny McDonald.
Yes. Did you come up with that, he ain't heavy?
No, that was signs that they used last year.
Where, out in Vancouver?
That's right, during the
Along
playoffs.
with the towels.
I'd like to get that guy my scriptwriter. Yes, Lanny McDonald from Hannah. And Lanny has 16 goals.
That's tops in the league, isn't it?
Yep.
Now it's Jeff coming up. The big fella rammed it toward the corner, and Rhoda couldn't get him. The Canadiens playing it up. Now Montreal into the center ice area. A good move there by Noslin. He comes in, goes around Butcher. Now Butcher knocks him to the ice. Will they get a whistle? No. Vancouver coming up with it. On it at center, that's Picard. Aslan falling. Mondu coming in with Tremblay. Back for Tremblay. Brodeur loses it. Oh! Trying to poke it in from around the net was Mondu. He had the open net. Now going in there, Walter shot. Big save by Brodeur. Brodeur looked Walter squarely in the eye area, came out and challenged him and made the save. There's Walter. Penalty coming up against Vancouver. Tremblay has it. Montreal with the extra attacker. Lafleur good again. Into an off the leg. Here's Lafleur over the McCarthy shot. Canadians win it in front of the flag. Now it's Robinson clearing it in for Tremblay. And finally it goes off Mills' stick, and the penalty coming up against Vancouver.
Canadiens had 3 shots during that flurry. Brodeur was very sharp. With the score, 3-2 Montreal. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Come on and grip the light fantastic. Get a hold of a light and easy. It's cool to the touch. Well, thank you very much. It's got a spray and surge the steam itself cleans like a dream. Come on and grip the light fantastic.
The light and easy irons from CGE. Come on and grip the light fantastic.
GE, we bring good things to life.
A chance for Pierre Mondu. Not quite out far. He could have gone out a little further, I think.
He'd had a little more hook in the stick. He could have hooked your back in, Dick.
You ought to know. Garth Butcher, he's off for tripping. Montreal on the power play.
With Stan McKena's stick and that hook, it would have been in the net.
Oh, absolutely. Stan wouldn't have made any mistake on that one.
In on the boards, here's Lafleur. Into the corner, back it goes, Gingras. Takes the shot. Now Gingras over for Lafleur. Canadiens on the power play. Lafleur to Robinson. Forward checking. Minor, he's up front with Moline. Back it comes to Gingras. Into Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser shoots it. Walter!
Brian Walter's second goal of the night. Bobby, I told you before the game the Canadiens are having trouble on their power play. You must be wondering what team I've been watching. They've had a pretty good one tonight. There's a power play goal.
They sure have. They've controlled the puck pretty well every power play. This one, they waited and waited, and they got that good shot here from Wickenheiser. But you can't ask Brodeur to do any more than that. Walter standing there unmolested.
Well, you mentioned they had the puck with possession, and they seemed to draw the Canucks out. The longer they held on to it, the further they sneaked out ahead of the net area. There was Walter all alone, 4-2.
I was talking with a young fellow by the name of Jerry Champagne last night who grew up with Brian Walter in the New Westminster area out in BC. And he said he was an all-around athlete, played soccer, lacrosse. The summer that he was drafted, broke his ankle playing lacrosse. And you think Washington wasn't a little bit concerned?
Right.
So Montreal ahead 4-2. There's Acton knocking down a high pass. Gets it to center to Nyland. Ludwig tries to glove it in. And it's up to the offside of the glove.
Well, we go now to the Nassau Coliseum as we pick up the action. It's a 2-2 hockey game. The Islanders in the home white, but they go ahead 3-2 on this play. Thomas Janssen in close. The save is made, and that is Brian Trottier. Out in front, all alone, the backhand upstairs, and the Islanders move ahead 3-2. Silder Lego has scored for Toronto, and they've taken a 1-0 lead over St. Louis first period.
Fraser, Schmiel, and Gradin. The line for the Canucks. Into the corner, Hallward. Lindgren playing it on the left side. Fraser trying to catch up with it. He was belted by Gainey. And we have 9:15 left in the second period.
As we look at the captain of the Canadiens, Bob Gainey, I can tell you that in our upcoming second intermission, I'll be chatting with the managing director of the Montreal Canadiens, Irving Grunman, and NHL Update will bring you more action in the game between the Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers from the Nassau Coliseum. We have a problem over here toward the area of the Canadiens bench. Is the gate broken, or?
I believe that's what happened. Stan Schmiel rammed a Canadian player into the gate, and I believe, the latch flew off.
That's right. 4-2, Canadiens lead this game. Coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Winning the race, got a grin on my face. Hey, what a day! Summertime fun here in the sun. Hey, what a great day! Break away to the taste that's green and clear. Molson Canadian, break away. Canadian, break away.
Delay here at the Montreal Forum with the Canadiens leading 4-2. I'm Dick Irvin, Danny Gallivan, and Bobby Hull. Something's wrong with the door. Bob Barry and company waiting it out. Danny, how would you like to have seen a line in the NHL? With Phil Esposito at center ice, Bobby Hull on the left wing, and Gordie Howe on the right wing. I know what you'd say. You'd have loved to have seen a line like that. Well, believe it or not, they are going to be together December 11th at Chilliwack at the Coliseum in a hockey game called A Night to Remember in aid of the Chilliwack Minor Hockey Association. That wouldn't have been a bad couple of guys to be with. You and Espo played together early in his career, of course, but if you'd have had big number 9 on the other side...
Might not have ever got the puck, Dick. I remember playing in an all-star game right here at the Forum, and I played on the left wing with Jean Beliveau at center and Howe on the right side, and I didn't see the puck too much that particular night.
Don't be, you're rather modest. That was one of the best all-star games I've ever seen.
Remember that one.
And your line that night of Beliveau, Hall, and Howe was outstanding.
Yes, I remember that game. I was
Stop blushing.
That's going to be a lot of fun in Chilliwack when the Hull Esposito Howe line gets going December 11th, live from the Forum in Montreal. Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Introducing a new size Ford LTD, reshaped for superb road stability, refined to offer luxurious form and function with soft cloth interiors, redesigned from the ground up with gas-filled shocks for a remarkable ride. The new size Ford LTD, reshaped, refined, totally redesigned.
Have you driven a Ford?
They are still trying to repair the gate by the Canadiens bench here at the Forum. As the hammer comes out now, Mr. Fix-It has arrived.
Which hardware store is it?
I don't know. But of course, the danger here is that there can't be any give in any part of the board. The player going along there, being hit into it, sliding along it, could get caught, very seriously injured.
There's a famous hockey picture of the 50s with the Rocket putting his skate through the glass of Maple Leaf Garden.
Right, who hit him on the play?
Not Bailey.
Bill Jusner.
No. Vic Lynn.
Vic Lynn.
Yeah.
You were there.
No, not quite.
Well, you were living in it. No, you weren't.
No.
You weren't living in it.
Got the picture in my scrapbook. Muller has scored again for Buffalo. And they have moved ahead of Hartford 3-1 that game now in the third period. Campbell scoring for Detroit. They're up in New Jersey 1-0.
Bobby, it appears that you're doing a lot of traveling this year.
I've been out west for the last 3 weeks, Dan and Dick, and I've had a great time spending with a lot of my cattle breeding friends. And there's a fellow out in Glendonald, Alberta, by the name of Bob Cook. He runs Queenie Creek Ranch. And I've been told by everyone that I meet that he is the most avid hockey fan that ever there is. He goes to games there in the Vermilion area, and he has the opposition team just pulling their hair out. He has problems with the referees if they don't do it right. And he's a one-man gang. He wears a big 10-gallon cowboy hat.
Is he a carpenter? We could use him here.
I imagine with his fencing tool and black wire, he could fix anything. But he's a one-man gang at these hockey games. I'm looking forward to going to a hockey game with him. I guess he is just great. He's a great, great guy. As a matter of fact, he takes a lot of credit for Stan Smeal, who played for the St. Paul Junior Canadiens out there, and a kid by the name of Paul Kelly, who plays for L.A. right now, and encouraging them and keeping them going and making it to the NHL.
Sounds like the fellow that used to wander around the Philadelphia Spectrum, Schultz's one-man army when he had the hat that the Army had and the spotlight. It's 4-2. The Canadiens are leading the Canucks. We're in a delay because of a problem with the board here at the Montreal Forum. A reminder that tonight's game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Seiko LaSalle, marvels of thinness, so perfected, so refined. They reach the realm of art. Seiko LaSalle, thin, rich, beautiful. Only the highest quartz technology could create such extraordinary design, achieve such flawless performance. Seiko LaSalle, no wonder people trust Seiko more than any other watch.
Here at the Montreal Forum, the referee has just blown his whistle to signal that we are ready to go again. The carpentry work has been completed. Steve Payne has scored for the North Stars in Quebec at 3-1. The Nordiques leading in that game.
Stayed with Roger and Wendy Peters out in where they
I don't know where they live, Bobby.
Right now. I went to school with their son John. He's in 3rd grade. And he took me for show and tell. Got there at 9 o'clock. I was still at school at 1 o'clock signing autographs. The toughest half day of school I have ever spent.
I was wondering, you're going to say they didn't know. They couldn't tell who you were. No, they could tell.
Delburn. There was one little black girl there that didn't know who I was. I told her that I didn't play basketball. That's why she did.
So we are ready for the resumption of play with Halinka at center. LeMay on the left side, Sundstrom over on the far wing against Carbonneau, Schott, and Lafleur. Montreal 4, Vancouver 2. It has not been what you'd call, there's a shot by Lafleur. You wouldn't call it a pulsating game all the way, but it has had its moment. And after all, it's close. Now Sundstrom coming in, trying to shake off Ludwig, who took him into the boards with authority. It comes to the side of the net. Here is Green to Ludwig. Schott playing it through center ice, no one there to make contact. And Smith playing it to the other side. It bounces over the glass.
Canucks on quite a road trip, of course. They finish it off tomorrow night in Buffalo before returning home to host the Los Angeles Kings. Well, there it is, Patrick Sundstrom. Boy, I don't know if the players are getting younger or we're getting older. We talked about him being drafted 175th. A lot of teams have to have second thoughts, and he has been a very, very positive addition. As we take a look at the 2 number 17s, he's up against Craig Ludwig. Another surprise as far as being a rookie is concerned. He's made it as a regular, Bob, on the Canadiens' defense.
Now Canadiens drifting that shot. It's off the stick of Naslund. Vancouver coming out into the center ice area. Polderev with these neat moves over the other side to Spiel. He cleared it in front, and Robinson was there to fire it away from Rhoda. Back it comes. Lindgren playing it on the boards for Rhoda. Picard. Back there, Spiel is watching him. Mondu ahead to Naslund. Naslund over for Robinson. And he got clear of it. The checking getting very, very close here with exactly 8 minutes to go in the second period. Over the glass, another souvenir.
7:55 left in the second period. Yuri Bubla, we mentioned that he managed just 23 games last year because of the broken ankle. 32 years of age, a veteran, of course, of international competition with the Czechoslovakian national team. Now there's the Tiger. You got a brief look at the name in the back, and he comes back after his suspension.
We were talking to Tiger just before the game and talking about his suspension and fines, and he thought, of course, it was too severe, but he said the Players Association was going to fine him, but he didn't do more damage to Smitty. Not a lot of love lost between goaltender Smith and the rest of the NHL other than the Islanders.
Wickenheiser was jammed out of the play. Now Williams takes a look. 4-2 Montreal. Lindgren goes down on that right side into the corner. Minor against Robinson. Lindgren is looking for it. He's tied up, and it's gloved by Picard to Wickenheiser, and that is an infraction. What did Vancouver do last year that got them excited? I'll tell you what they did, just in case you may have forgotten. They finished 11th overall, just 77 points. And then, were they great in the playoffs, knocking off Calgary, Los Angeles, Chicago, moving into the finals against the Islanders. They lost 4. You remember that, Bobby? Remember that first game? It went to 1958 into overtime. And if they had won that, who knows?
That's right. There was one mistake. A fellow out there that would just lug the puck down the right side. Made a little mistake, coughed the puck up, and cost them that game. And anything could have happened had they won that.
They are a very disciplined team. There's McCarthy. He hit the outside of the goal post. McCarthy again. He had to work against linesman Stickle. Canadians clearing it out. Down the ice it goes. Could be icing here. Lindgren did not get it. He was beaten to the puck, apparently, by Wickenheiser.
Bobby, the Canucks have been very unfortunate tonight. They've had a lot of good scoring chances. That was one right there. Sevigny either didn't see it or just simply missed it, and it rang off the outside of the post.
They've hit the post at least twice, I know, and they've controlled the puck. When they've been in trouble, it's because they've got running around in their own end. Generally, as Danny said, they're a very, very disciplined hockey club. When a couple of times when they've been in trouble, it's because they've been running around a little bit in their own end. But generally played very, very well positionally in their own end.
Well, they're well disciplined. And of course, Roger Nielsen is strict, firm, but fair. He doesn't mollycoddle them. And you know what? They respect him, and that's the big thing. I think that's one of the things that made Toe Blake such an outstanding coach. Players respect him.
Oh, I think before a coach can be anything, they have to have the respect of the players.
Now Gradine going in, and he fires that shot wide. Steps trying to clear it in there. Into the corner. Gradine is going after Picard. There's Gainey. 4-2 the score. Montreal leading by 2. Hunter fires the rink-wide pass. Gainey coming in. Young Butcher coolly took over, gave to Gradine. Now here's Snett, laying it out over the line. They don't panic, the Canucks. They play their good, solid game, fundamental hockey. And although they're behind 2 goals, they'll bide their time. Now Fraser trying to get it. Here's Gradine from the corner. Playing it right in front. Penalty against Larry Robinson.
Larry knew it.
Yeah. I think it's what you call a good penalty because the Canucks had control. And Robinson had to do something. He hauled down Kurt Fraser on the play. Otherwise, Fraser was all alone in front of Sevigny with the puck close to that area. So the big bird goes to the penalty box. Critical moment here for the Canadiens. The Canucks with the power play, and if they can pop one to make it a 1-goal hockey game, it will change things very quickly. That's right, Larry. Shake the head. There's the penalty. There's the upraised arm of referee Harris, and the Canucks are a man to the good.
Canadiens penalty, number 19, Larry Robinson. 2 minutes for booking at 13 minutes, 48 seconds.
Carlson has scored for St. Louis. The Leafs and the Blues are in a 1-1 tie. That game in the first period at the Checkerdome in St. Louis.
And a big opportunity here for Vancouver. They're on the power play. Back to the line, cleared in. And we welcome those of you who have been watching the Rangers-Calgary game 4-2 here from Montreal. Vancouver on the power play, Moline, and he just raised the goalpost. As you've mentioned, Dick, they have had tough luck in this hockey game, the Canucks, with some of these shots. That's 3 goalposts. Now in behind the net. Sevigny played it on the boards. It's kept into the corner. LeMay in there, and Mondu gets an opening and shoots it down the ice.
Let's have a look here how this Fiveson controls that puck once they get it over the blue line. We're going to have to get it over the blue line first, but they really do a great job. Holinka and Moline, they control that puck very well in the opposition's end of these power plays.
Carbonneau doing some good checking. However, LeMay lugs it in over the line with Holinka. Sundstrom is trying to get in front. Here's Holinka. Sundstrom getting it back. Kubla back into Sundstrom. Sundstrom takes his time. He's in front. Now it's off the board. Sundstrom is in front. Watch him. Hallward with it. Back it goes. Kubla fakes the shot over the other side. The sharp angle shot. And Holinka was wide with it. Vancouver keeping it in. There's LeMay over to Holinka. Back it goes to LeMay. Big save there by Sevigny. And the Canucks were in command there and got a pretty good shot with LeMay in at the lip of the crease. Now there are 18 seconds left in the penalty, and the Canucks pour them in over the line. And they're called on the offside.
4-2 Canadiens lead with 4:26 left. I'm Dick Irvin, Danny Gallivan, and Bobby Hull as we look at Guy Carbonneau, a rookie in the Canadian scheme of things, who has 9 points in his last 6 games, and it's been a very pleasant surprise for the Canadiens the last 2 years with the Halifax, Nova Scotia Voyageurs after a junior career in Chicoutimi.
I guess we kind of expected that the goals against for the Canadiens would be up a little bit with the loss of Langway and Engblom. They were the 2 best plus-minus players on their hockey club last year, but these kids have really fit in and doing a great job for the Canadiens.
Vancouver in their away uniforms, black face, trim of red and yellow. They're on the power play. They have 2 seconds left. Now, here's Bolderev getting it back. The penalty has expired and the puck into the center ice area. So the big scoring opportunity, I would think, was the one that was presented to LeMay. Lorne bumping there. Here's Lafleur in the corner. Playing it out to the line. Hallward, a weak shot. It's high. Bolderev taken out of the play by Picard. There's Judd to the other side. Judd coming out with Delorme on this wing, and now crisscrossing is Wickenheiser. Back it goes. Wickenheiser shoots it right on. And Brodeur had that side covered. Vancouver back with that rink-wide pass. Picard. The Canucks making changes. Back it goes to Lafleur. That spot is vacated over on the far point. Struggling up on the right side, making a headway, was Hill. And the play is stopped. That's the offside.
That's the first time, Danny, I've ever seen Guy Lafleur pass the puck to the referee. But Wally Harris didn't have a stick.
Well, I think he heard him coming and he just passed it. He thought it would be the left point man that's filling in that position.
For the Canadiens, Mats Naslund has 2 goals. Ryan Walter has 2 goals. Holinka and Moline have scored for the Vancouver Canucks.
3 minutes and 10 seconds. That is the time remaining in the second period. Butcher. He missed. LeMay with it. Good move there by Greeny. Headmans the puck to Naslund. Naslund shot it off Stepp's leg. And back into the center ice area, Holinka. Holinka has one of the 2 Vancouver goals in on the boards. Sundstrom. Holinka playing it back. Naslund. A pass for Tremblay. They crisscross, taking it in on his skate. Naslund and a weak backhand shot. 2.5 minutes left in the period. Now into the center ice area. Holinka again. LeMay couldn't pick it up. Canadiens in this period of times have been rather cautious with the lead when they get that puck inside their line. They don't fool around with it. They get it out very quickly. If they don't have a player to pass it to, they simply dump it into the center ice area. There's Green ahead to Gainey. Gainey dropping it back, and it's gobbled up there by Fraser. Fraser for Vancouver, shooting it back in. Here's Neal going in. Jammed out of the play by Picard. Will they get a whistle? Yes, they do. 1:54 at the time left. So what teams have you seen play this year, Bobby? You've seen the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes, and I was very impressed with my old alma mater, the Chicago Blackhawks. They really moved that puck around. They've got a great skating team, and led by little Denny Savard, Dougie Wilson on the point. They moved that puck really well.
They looked very, very good. They gave up a lot of goals when they were in here a month ago. Won the game 8-7, but Savard, Secord. I like this guy, Higgins, on right wing.
Oh, yes, he's been playing very, very well for them.
Now Vancouver. Beal couldn't get it. It's Gainey up on the left side, making the move around Bouba. Gainey trying to cut in front. And Brodeur smothered by a plethora of players right in on top of him. Now they headman the puck. Picard cleared it off the board. Vancouver trying to get back. Atkins in on the left side. Rising shot, and Brodeur picked that one rather easily. So there's Doug Hallward, number 2. He has played very well.
That entire defense core of Vancouver playing pretty tight behind the blue line.
And one of the big reasons, of course, the defense is tight. The forwards are coming back.
Always helps, doesn't it?
It helps.
Yeah, we always felt that if we had one guy coming back, that defense should be able to stay up there and to make the opposition make those plays at the blue line.
Who came back on your line?
We had Murray Balfour when Billy Hay and I played together. He was always back. He forechecked, back-checked, and everything else. And then Chico Mackey with Phil Esposito and I. Chico was always there when we needed him. And he did the same job that Murray did. He forechecked and back-checked, and he made plays after I lost Phil as a centerman. And Chico was my right winger and playmaker.
So they would say before the start of the game, okay, we're coming back, Bobby, you go the other way.
Not necessarily. We never really discussed it such as that, unless we were really playing poorly. Then it was centermen go in and check, and wingers come back with your wing.
Ludwig takes a shot, and that one off Minor. Minor from the side of the net, coming out. It bounces to the line. 1 minute left in the second period. Now it is Green taking a look, and Lafleur dumping it in on the move. Wickenheiser and Walter. Walter has 2 goals here tonight for Montreal. The Canucks into the center ice area. They're broken up by Green, Williams, and Green fighting for it, and Wickenheiser couldn't get by Minor. A half minute left. Here's Lafleur checking very, very closely as it must be very obvious to you at this juncture in the game. Now Lafleur getting it over to Gainey. Gainey shooting at a big space. And Lafleur the rebound. Fired it over the glass. Here's Gainey shooting it. Goes high into the air. Lafleur looking for it. Back it comes. Green is going to keep it in. Lafleur trailing it around the net. Lindgren plays it to the board. 5 seconds left. In there goes Wickenheiser, and the period is over. And so the score at the end of the second period: Montreal 4, Vancouver 2.
Riding the wind, good times begin at good. Hey, what a day! Sunshine and friends, fun never ends. Hey, what a great day! Break away to the taste that's clean and clear. Break away, Molson Canadian. Break away, Molson Canadian. Break away.
You wanted defense,
great engine defense. So we made our motor oil better. SO Uniflow, our best motor oil. SO Uniflow gives better defense against heat, against corrosion, against engine wear. You wanted better defense, so we made a better motor oil. SO Uniflow.
You make us better. SO.
Now you can save too with a special offer where you buy SO Uniflow.
Hey, Harv, come on, the game's on. Where's Barb?
At the game. Boy, these Baycrest socks came out great, as always.
At the game?
Yeah. Barb says for the price, you can't buy any better than Baycrest. All lengths, shrink-resistant.
How about your undies, Harv?
Those are Baycrest, too. Briefs, shorts, bikinis.
Harv, you're strange.
That's what Barb says.
Yeah.
She also says Baycrest is the best value for your money.
So, come on, Canada. Meet you at the Baycrest.
Barb says
You got your country morning and your country sports, your country kitchen and your country style.
Take your country boy and your country girl. They give their country feeling at the country style.
Now there's country freshness with the country smile, country goodness at your country style.
Oh yeah, country style, country style.
Coffee and donuts, pressured by a country mile.
Country style.
They can make you feel like somebody just for killing time.
Hannah Gardner, the multi-million-dollar video game business, the Fifth Estate, Tuesday.
We are pleased tonight to have Irv Grunman, the managing director of the Montreal Canadiens, with us in our second intermission. His team has lost twice in 14 games. Irv, I don't know if you're surprised. I don't know if you'd predict something like that, but obviously, going into the second month of the season, you have to be pleased.
Extremely pleased, Dick. You hope to get off to a fast start. You know, whatever points you can accumulate early in the season, they say can't be taken away from you, and it certainly helped during the latter part of the season, but we've been fortunate, but the fellas have played well.
We have said on this show we will never again mention the trade, so I won't mention the trade, but I will say Ryan Walter and Rick Green, their progress here in Montreal as far as you're concerned.
Well, without a doubt, it has added a new dimension to our club, and I think it has motivated the veterans and also the youngsters, and as a result, everybody just seems to be moving together and moving in the right direction.
You were telling me the other day it's strange. It doesn't usually happen that way, but it's as though the newcomers and the youngsters are leading the way and the old guys are falling in.
It is, because normally the veterans set the standard and then the youngsters really try to, you know, get up to their level, but right now it seems as though the youngsters have that great motivation, the legs, the desire, determination, and it has sparked our so-called older players. They're not really old, but we seem to be on the right track, and there seems to be an atmosphere in the room that we haven't had for a while, and I just hope it bears fruit towards the end of the year.
It's been a year fairly free of controversy within the ranks, but there is the Mark Napier situation, and there's some confusion. Is he happy? Is he not happy? What is the situation?
Well, Mark asked for a multi-year contract at the beginning of the year, and we almost came to a deal prior to November '81 when the income tax laws changed, and then unfortunately he saw fit to wait. Subsequent to that, we tried to get together. It just hasn't worked out, but we went to arbitration. In other words, we've done almost everything Mark has asked us to do. And right now, we're abiding by the arbitrator's decision, and I'm still confident that we can do something to satisfy Mark.
Do you find, as the managing director of a team based in Canada, that you are at a disadvantage dealing with players because of the tax law?
Well, it certainly doesn't help, and it's unfortunate for the players, unfortunate for you, unfortunate for me, but I wish I could control the tax laws. Believe me, I'd give you a heck of a break, Dick, and so I would do the same for everybody, but unfortunately, we can't do that, but I think that we should be given some form of consideration. Athletes, artists, and various people that have a short performance span and aren't really prepared for a second career. However, maybe that will arrive one day.
Your team is playing the Soviets here on New Year's Eve. The Islanders are not playing the Soviets this time around. Was there any hesitation in your mind about booking a game in the middle of a very important season?
Well, it's always difficult because that game is sort of superimposed on a regular season when, you know, you already have enough pressure on your shoulders, and we've always liked to participate in international tournaments, and I don't know how much longer we'll say yes, but yes, we were very pleased, and we're looking forward to December 31.
Looking on the season, surprises, disappointments, what about surprises on your team? Are there one or two players that have done things that you didn't expect them to do?
No, you always expect them to do it. You always hope for them to do it, but you have to look at a Guy Lafleur, and he's the Guy Lafleur of old. young Guy Carbonneau, who was a great surprise and somebody that we felt could replace Doug Jarvis and Doug Riseborough. And it just seems that everybody is going at a little faster clip, and I think the results speak for themselves. I just hope it continues.
Finally, the three-goaltender system is no more. That really wasn't a good system, was it?
Well, it's not really a bad system if you can't move the third, but if you can move the third and stay with two, I agree with you. Two is the ideal situation.
Irv, thank you very much for dropping by.
Always a pleasure.
Irving Grunman, Managing Director of the Montreal Canadiens. Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
Corrosion. It's gonna destroy your engine. It's only a matter of time. Because today's engines have many alloy parts, including aluminum, that need special corrosion inhibitors. Conventional antifreeze can't do much to stop this corrosion, but new Perma-3 from Canadian Tire can. Perma-3 can give your car a fighting chance. Perma-3 antifreeze from Canadian Tire. Help stop corrosion before corrosion stops you.
I've got a story for all you people who use MasterCard just to go shopping. I used it for my moving expenses. I got a new tire in Laval, a tow in Pembroke, and a battery in North Bay. I even got a cash advance when I ran short in Sudbury. And now that that's over with, I'll have a record of this unforgettable trip when I get my MasterCard statement. It's not like I use it every day, but I'm sure glad I had it on this trip.
MasterCard. Such an intelligent way to cope.
Thank you, MasterCard.
Tomorrow morning, this man has to make a crucial decision.
Our copier's got a micro processor.
Who's that?
This copier's got the works in a drawer.
It's the latest technology.
Sure, we've been in the business a long time. Almost 2 years.
Look at the deal I'm giving you. It's just as good as a Xerox.
Xerox? When you've heard all the stories, remember, Xerox. Nobody ever went wrong being fussy and stingy.
Everywhere, people are discovering the variety of Amway quality products without going shopping.
My laundry looks great with Amway SA8.
Nutrilite food bars by Amway get me through the morning.
Artistry Cosmetics and Jewelry by Amway get me through the evening.
Amway has it all.
Shop the world of Amway, so easy to do.
2 goals apiece for Ryan Waller and Matt Naslin of Montreal. Ivan Lincoln, Lars Moline have scored for Vancouver, and the Canadiens lead the Canucks 4-2 after 2 periods. We're going now via NHL update to the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. It's 3-2, the Islanders leading Philadelphia late in the 3rd period. Mike Emmerich calls the play-by-play. He's joined in the broadcast booth by Bobby Taylor and Ed Van Imp, and here they are.
Hammers it back into the Islanders zone, off Melancon's stick, around it goes, thrown in front by Allison, but jammed away. Now Carson tries to step in front to Clark, a shot to Mays, and it was wide. Rebound, Allison tried to tuck it in front. They jam away at it on defense, and Potvin got it to Bossy, who cleared. What fire pressure with 1:10 to go in the 2nd period of play. Lindsey Carson's pass just beyond the reach of Allison. Potvin directs it the other way, but Frank Bays follows it up. And Bays on now to Lindsey Carson, who cranks one, blocked by Melanson, and Potvin tries to clear, but Clark had a chance to jam at it, and only Melanson's holding it at the side of the net gets the whistle. Oh, have there been close ones in this period? And let's look at one. Lindsey Carson cranks, blocked off the waffle board by Melanson. Doesn't know whether to come out or not, so Potvin takes the initiative, and eventually, as the camera drifted out of play momentarily, Clark did get a piece of it, but it was off the side of the goal and trapped by the goalie, they call him, Roland Melanson. Flockhart with Barber on left wing and Tom Gorance on right wing. Marsh, left defense, right defense to Dvorak. Trottier and Flockhart to test their face-off wits near Melanson with 54 seconds left in the period. And it's Barber feeding from Marsh. Long reach enables him to keep the pressure on. Throws it behind. Melanson winds the boards for Goring. Goring able to control to Morrow, who quickly tried to shuffleboard one ahead, but couldn't. Gorance taps off for Dvorak, who swats it behind for Bill Barber. He's shoved by Morrow, who was able to recover one ahead now to Nystrom. Nystrom dogged by both Barber and Gorance. Barber tried for Gorance, but Morrow stepped in the way to Trottier, who just skyhooks one to center ice. Dvorak at his own line for the Flyers. Bumped to the boards by Goring. Nystrom moves in, but it was an offside play. And so with 21 seconds to go in the second